Hey everybody, this is Krista Jean here at NC Garden Helpers, and today we are going to talk about my chaos garden, which is right here. So yes, I have some harvesting to do, and yes, I have a story behind this garden, and yes, I'm going to share it with you guys. So this garden bed in particular was the first bed my husband built for me about 3 years ago. And since then, I've just been growing things. And I guess as the seasons turned, things died and I pulled them out, collected the seeds. And if something else came the next year, I would let it grow and then put more things in as I amended the soil. So now I have a little bit of everything. What I thought I was harvesting as collard greens all winter has now turned into broccoli. So I'm going to let this go to seed so I can collect the seeds. But now I know I've been eating a broccoli plant, which is perfectly fine. Broccoli leaves are perfectly edible. They are great to cook with your cabbage leaves and your collard green and kale leaves. You just make a whole mix. So that's wonderful. So I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to harvest all this and weed all through this, because I have some beans over here on this trellis. I have some cabbage over here. I see some marigolds, nasturtium. There's some kale over on this side. There's a lot going on, so stay tuned. Okay, so the first thing I did was try to get as close to this broccoli as I possibly can. The first thing I'm going to do is cut off this flowering part up here. And I'm going to use that, probably going to cook with it. So this is a very large stalk. Like I said, I thought it was collard greens. So I'm going to look until I see a brand new flower. Let me make sure you guys can see that. I see a new bud here. So I'm going to take this saw here. My dad gave me this saw. Shout out to Aaron. But yeah, he gave me this saw from one of his local hardware stores in his neighborhood. And I want to shout out that neighborhood, but Dad, if you can in the comments, put the neighborhood store down, because I love going to my neighborhood and mom and pop shops. Always support your community. So I'm going to take that down first. We don't need that. Now, what I know is I do have a true leaf here, so I'm going to probably leave this fan leaf, but I'm going to try to find the beginning of this, and I don't know if I could show you guys. Let me zoom in. It is many broccoli stems in one patch. So something happened here, but things went overboard. So I'm going to start just thinning it out. So I'm going to start from the bottom of it, and I'm just going to harvest it all. And yes, you can eat these. Yes, you can cook with these leaves and the flowers. You can put it all in the pot, saute it with some butter, some garlic, some pepper. Have a good time. Mix it with some more vegetables, have a whole medley. So I'm just looking for the main stalk and the branches that are big branching out of it. And I'm trying to get as close to the bottom as possible. You don't want to start at the top of the plant. You want to start at the bottom and break your way up until you have like a plant like this. So you have just the baby new leaf and a couple leaves to protect it. Those are called like fan leaves. They also help it get wind and air. So I'm just going through and thinning this patch out. I see I have some kale. If you look right here, I have some kale here I'm going to thin out. Oh, those are collard greens. Never mind. See? Chaos gardening. These are collard greens. Here's some kale right here. So I'm going to thin that out. I have some kale over here. And if you look right here at the vine, there's a lot of new green beans coming in. So I got to thin all this out. Either move it out or thin it out. But, you know, I'm not into killing plants. So we will be thinning it out and continue our chaos gardening. You can see I have gotten this whole bed thinned out. I found my marigolds. I see my nasturtiums. I found my collards. Found some gladiolas. Got my broccoli worked out because that was a trick. So, found my cabbages. I got my beans on the trellis. I had to relocate some kale, if you noticed in the video. Got my marigolds together. And this is my harvest. This is what I got from thinning out that bed. And yes, I can't wait to go down to the farm and get me some smoked turkey wings. Because they're going in a pot with some smoked turkey wings. Okay? Yes, yes, yes. So as always, you can follow me on all platforms at NC Garden Helpers and see this full tutorial on YouTube at NC Garden Helpers. Happy gardening and happy eating. Bye.